Good morning. We're going to open the loan committee meeting for the Economic Development Board here in Columbia County with the approval of the minutes. Anybody got any changes after reading them? I'll entertain a motion for acceptance of them.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. We'll move right along to the portfolio review. Martha?
Thank you, Terry. This review was made on October 12th and shows 7/11/23 is the month. Been in touch with them, but I haven't had a response. We show a Lula Woodward is behind, and he has been in touch and is sending a payment. Old Clobber Brewery is behind, and we have been working with one of our business consultants, and we've asked for a meeting with the owners, and we plan to meet with them next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. And Phoenix Services is all caught up. And down below, we see Old Clobber again, County Route 711 County Route 3 again, because they and Alula, they all have two loans for that. Any questions?
The Old Clobber Brewery, they have a trouble.
You know, they opened up that tasting room where they have their equipment out there by the movie theater. Of course, there's no foot traffic in a shopping center like that. You know, I think the majority of their sales are through distributors, which is, you know, a very small markup. It's really retail where you make your money, and that's the part that doesn't seem to be growing the way they have. He already has.
Okay.
And so what Mike and I hope to do is just follow up on that conversation and find out what they plan to do. He gave them several options.
Sure.
Same question as that's Martha about 7-Eleven out came from there, right? I mean, they seem to be sometimes back.
They have been running 30 days behind for quite some time. So normally by now we would have gotten their September 1st payment. We have not seen it. He has not responded to my voicemail or my emails. But he rarely does. And the check still shows up, but we have not received the check as of yet.
Okay.
It's not the best communicator.
Okay.
So I may just have to drive down there, which is what I did a year ago. You know, find out what's happening, get an update.
Okay. All right.
I will say that other restaurants are struggling. I know several. Has closed. Learning grass, I'm meeting with them. It's especially ones that got started during the pandemic. It's very difficult.
Right, you can have a motion on the portfolio review.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? So moved. Moving right along to the Bluebird Acres loan request.
Oh, that was approved last month. I was just going to give you an update. Every time I market comes to visit her, it seems the story has changed somewhat, but she is working it out. She has somebody coming. She has now a regular contact at Ag and Markets. He's coming down again this week. Originally, they had told her she had to have a bathroom in the milk house, which was never told to her at the beginning. Now they're saying they can use the bathroom in her home as long as there is an exterior door, and she's gotten a quote on that, and Ag and Markets is coming down later this week to review that.
Okay.
Nothing's easy.
All right. I think we gotta approve that, all right?
No, it's just enough.
We'll move right along to Pritzel Press.
Hey, I keep calling this a game, but he calls it a printmaking toy. And this would certainly round out our loan portfolio. We don't have anything like this in the portfolio. Brandon Gam, we first learned about this project from an article, I think that was in the Albany Business Review. He'd been working with the people up in Albany at Center for Economic Growth, and they did a nice story on this project. So he has been making this printmaking toy on his own, using some sort of not quite exact method. And then he and a bunch of friends assembled the pieces and shipped them out. They have one client over in Pittsfield, I believe it is. It's a bookstore that sells creative toys and games as well as books. And they've not only been promoting it, but people are finding him on Instagram. But he really can't expand until he has a reliable manufacturing source. And so that's what our $50,000 would be used for. He has identified 2 possible manufacturers, one here in the US, one in China. They will create the tooling equipment. And once that's created, that's really one of the largest expenses. Then he can start manufacturing these in quantities. It will take a few months for that to happen, which is why we're recommending that he has 120 days before he first has to make payments on the CEDC loan. I guess the real question is, whether or not he can sell. He'll be the one selling this product. So far, it seems that he's been successful. His wife is in marketing and branding and has also been very helpful. And she's the one who's created all of their Instagram messaging. And that seems to be, again, in the very early stages, that does seem to be successful. He has excellent credit. The couple has income, they have savings, they own their own home. He does project a very small loss this year and a modest profit next year. His wife's income is sufficient to cover all of their personal expenses while the business grows. And if it's successful, his projections are very positive. The consultant who worked with him really liked the product and felt the way I did about Brandon, that he is somebody, again, these are character loans, and he's somebody that I think we could feel comfortable investing. It is a printmaking toy where you can create with these little pieces shapes and designs, and then you can print with it. And you can change it. So you could create Christmas cards and have this design on all those Christmas cards. Very different than stamping, where you're just stuck with one stamp. I created it, and he considers it very much like a Lego product, which is his ultimate goal, something creative, open-ended, ever-changing. Adults seem to like using it as much as children. In fact, I think the majority of
pull it up.
yeah. More has been to adults, often grandparents who want to do something creative with their grandchildren.
I know, that's what I said. My kids are a little old for it, but if they were like a couple years younger, they would have loved it. The Lego part is sort of like this here. You piece it together and then you kind of make your design on this tray. And then it is a little, I thought the price point was a little high.
Yeah, I think the price, the more he, economics of scale, once he starts getting a lot more, you can probably bring the price down. This falls under the STEM categories in schools. A lot of elementary kids, it's science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And this is falling like a STEM toy where the kids are getting, dexterity, they're building patterns. It's got a lot of potential, I think.
I think it could be distributed. I agree. Bookstores, very creative toy stores, museum stores, that's a very good point. Online, certainly, and and Lego also is sort of his model because of the exact, specifications of their product, and that's where he wants to get.
Already does this stuff?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did you get any information on patent?
Pending. He's working with an attorney on the trademark and the patent. The one thing he didn't have when he came to us was insurance, and we found that because there are small pieces, but we could ingest it. So
Because he doesn't have the patent, he's working on it. Maybe you could speak more just about the legal fees that they were on there. I was like, that's really small, especially if he doesn't have the patent. The utility kind can run up to like $20,000 to $25,000.
But if they're already pending, he's already paid them.
I
Right.
think he paid for an attorney out of pocket, like all the advice came from what they call the memory cavity up there and the CED as well. He was given a lot of guidance and advice at no charge before he had to engage.
Anyone want to see anything on the site?
Yeah.
Anything else? Seconded? All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Thank you.
Right, moving along then to the State Best LLC loan request.
So this, again, would be really in addition to our loan portfolio. We very rarely make loans to service businesses like this. And in fact, I came up with a series of objections before I even spoke with the client, and she was able to answer every one of them. And Jessica and I met with Allison and found her to be incredibly organized. So Staybest is a marketing, branding, advertising company owned by Allison McNeely. She's had it for a number of years. She's really been working on getting it organized, formed the LLC, just received her subchapter S Corp status, working with a team of professionals. And as is common in the creative field, she doesn't have employees. She works with other creatives who are independent, freelancers. She has a number of clients who have become regular multi-year clients, and she claims that is because corporations have eliminated their art departments. They outsource everything now in this area. So she has sent me a list of clients that she works with. A few are local, the majority of them are in New York. Her sales have grown year over year, and this year she anticipates hitting over $500,000. She is going to bring on a consultant on a one-year basis, contract to help her plan and execute this expansion. And in her field, that really means overhauling all of their communications. So the website, all of their marketing, all of their outreach. Once they get to that point, and this individual who she's engaging will also be then in business development, trying to bring on new clients, and especially ones that will stay with her. She has the ability to repay the loan. Once again, she has excellent credit. She owns her own home and, has savings. Again, we're not creating any jobs because these are independent consultants, so it will just retain her job. Again, she is looking for $50,000 and very similar to the other loan. It'll be SBA and CEDC at 5%, and we're calling it a working capital. Yes, everyone is remote, and she works out of her home in Quabbin. I don't know what the heck she does. Is it a hotel? It's like all this stuff. Does the name have it? No, it doesn't. What's her specialty? Well, she works with other creative businesses. So 2 of her clients are in the cannabis industry. They're yet to be launched brands. She works with Tapestry. I forget exactly what they do. She has a large makeup company, all natural makeup for older women. It's really a variety. She works with autos in Germantown, Scribner's Lodge over in Catskill, large and small businesses. And she does a lot of pro bono work in this area as well.
Now helping the businesses with their branding, sort of their messaging, right?
Yeah. Launches, and that's the cannabis industry ones.
This is like an art contractor.
They do graphic design, they do the branding, they do messaging and communications for companies. If the company needs a photo shoot, they don't call a photographer and a lighting company, they call Allison. And she lines up all of the independents that are required on the project. And she's got a huge team of people that she's been working with up here and in New York and all over the country. That's what I've done. Oh, she's terrific.
So they're her clients, and then she's paying.
That is correct.
She's basically building.
She really is, and all freelancers, again, as is common in this industry, and I brought this up to, I went to an HR program last week that the chamber put on. Of course, there are questions about who's an independent consultant versus an employee. She has contracts with all of them. She seems to understand the difference. They have other clients they work with, but she feels that she has enough work to keep her team busy, year round, maybe not 40 hours a week, but everybody has some flexibility. And as I say, they work for other people as well.
So she pays them as 1099.
Correct.
And then she's herself.
Correct. Yeah.
Anything else? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. Excuse me.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? So moved. Any public comment? Okay,
One is Jackson. That got started in the pandemic, unfortunately, so didn't qualify for PPP money, et cetera. They are considering, and this is confidential, I don't know that he's notified his employees, closing for 6 months this winter, reopening April 1st. He's gonna look for work. He's looking for work now. Things have been slow. And he just thinks that that is the right move. I don't know that I need approval to give a 6 month deferment. We do it on a regular basis and the SBA allows up to 6 months. We would not, charge interest during that deferment period. I'm not overly concerned about, a default. He has a client, or I'm sorry, a partner in Westchester who's very strong. His son lives and works up here in Columbia County. We would have a deferment letter signed by both partners. I think if all goes according to plan, he will work over the winter so he can generate some income for himself and then reopen in the spring. Sales are better. We're also working with him to help him get a seed grant. Hopefully he'll qualify for a certain amount.
I go by there a lot. He is so.
And then finally, Minna Goods, we have a loan with Minna. They're doing an expansion. They've been approved for a large loan to help them rebrand and move into, they do retail online and in their store. They want to be selling more wholesale and selling to the trade. They are asking us to not subordinate our lien, but to consent to the new loan. And Mike and I have been in discussions about that, and we'll probably have a follow-up meeting with the owner there as well. I don't think we do, and we could always act at full board if we need to.
Mike, you have anything?
Yes, Martha, could you just give an overview of how many of our loans this month are Columbia Forward loans? And also, I want to congratulate Martha. She has reached another milestone in our annual loan volume. And if you could just give an update on that as well. And I appreciate all of your hard work that has resulted in your success.
So the two loans that I presented this month do not qualify for the grant, but Bluebird Acres, which we closed on, they did qualify for the $2,500 grant. Certainly we're most appreciative. Yesterday, or Friday, I'm sorry, we closed on the second of two loans to Hudson Roastery. We had approved both loans. They had closed on one and we had held off closing on the second until they actually purchased the roaster, which has to be purchased by the end of the month for their contract. And they qualified for the $2,500 grant. And once again, we're thrilled to have it. Yes, our loan, the number of loans we make is calculated by the SBA annually, but the year ends on September 30th. And we are required to make 10 SBA loans every year in order to stay in the program. It started at 4. And then 6, 8, 10. And anyway, we just closed on our 20th loan for the year ending September 20th. So obviously we met that goal and yeah, we're pleased. That's a good year for us.
And 81 would qualify for more funding all the time, right?
Yes, it depends on the number of loans and the outstanding balance. It's a complicated calculation.
Anything else? I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? So moved.
Thank you, Ken.
Yep.
Before everybody runs away, I brought something I wanted to share because of the pixel press. So actually, right before COVID happened, I put in a design patent